Howdy folks, I had a viewer request for more information on the 1.2 metre simple slope soarer. This is the first slope soarer I ever built about 4 years ago, almost exactly. So let's have a look at the design. The wingspan obviously is 1.2 metres exactly. It's an almond style wing, folded Depron. This is 5mm Depron, so you could use Dollar Tree foam board or anything like that, whatever you can get your hands on. I've done tape covered Depron, and I'll put a link to how to make these wings. I've got a video on that. The cord, including the ailerons, I always include the ailerons when I measure the cord, is 16 centimetres, 6.5 inches. Ailerons, full span ailerons, which you really need for a slope soarer, 32mm, or just 1.25 inches, I suppose, 1.5 inches. I have a little bit of dihedral in the wings. It's not essential for slope soarers, but it certainly makes it a really nice, smooth, sort of self-correcting, self-leveling plane. How much dihedral have I got? Let's try and work that out. If you held it flat on one side, it would be 7 centimetres up at the other side. The fuselage is, well, it's mainly a wrapped carbon fibre arrow shaft. Cut it down to a length of 67 centimetres. Rubber band tie downs, a couple of carbon fibre rods passing through the fuselage. Fuselage is basically a tube, 2-inch tube, 5cm tube, length 50 centimetres or 19 inches. I've tapered it down a little bit in the tail. Don't have to do that if you don't want to. A little bit of a nose cone here. I actually put the battery in there and just velcro that up, and that's got a little bit of energy absorbing foam in the nose just to stop it crushing. Whole thing's just covered with coloured packing tape like that. We can get these from Kmart or order them on eBay. A couple of 9-gram servos in the wing, one 9-gram servo in the elevator. This one doesn't have a rudder, although these days I would always like a rudder on a slope soarer because you get to use them a lot. Not essential though. Horizontal stabiliser is 30 centimetres by 16 at the widest, tapering down to 10 at the outer edges. Elevator is, big elevator, 5 centimetres or 2 inches. Rudder height is 14 centimetres, 5.5 inches. Depth is 14 centimetres at the base, tapering to 6 centimetres at the top. A little bit of a cutout here to allow the elevator to come up. Tail is just hot glued onto the spar with a couple of foam fillets either side. Same with the spar hot gluing onto the bottom of the fuselage with a little bit of foam either side. And the tie-down rods are just reinforced by a little bit of ID card plastic hot glued onto the side of the fuselage there. And that's pretty much all there is. It just needs a 4-channel receiver. You could get away with a 3-channel receiver. A BEC, smallest BEC you can find would do fine. And I think I use something like a 500 3S or 500 2S battery in the nose, or could even be a 1300. I'm not too sure, I can't remember. I'd probably load it up with more for heavier winds and keep it as light as possible for light winds. The longer you have the nose, the lighter the overall weight can be, because you need less weight if it's further out to balance the CG. CG is just somewhere on the 30% back mark, about where the spar goes through the wing or the thickest part of the airfoil. Great little plane, perfect beginner slope soarer. Still works beautifully today after 4 years. To set the dihedral on the wing, I actually do have some spars in here, just some sort of about 5mm carbon fibre tube, and the joiner in the middle is an aluminium tube just of the right inner diameter to spar to fit into, and then I just bend that in a vise to the angle that gives me as much dihedral as I want. So I'll just have a section like that, chop it there, bend it a little bit in the middle and slot the spars into it. This light wing would probably get away without having a spar at all, actually. So I'd start off by building it without a spar and put one in if you need it.